I just got a call from my work and they let me know that I was getting laid off today. And so I was laid off from work today. And it's a lot. Like, there's the fires going on in LA. My birthday just happened a few days ago. I thought this was going to be my year. And I just got laid off. I've been at this company for over 6 years. And, I don't even know what to do. Obviously, I have to file for unemployment. I'm just in shock. But here's the biggest thing. A few months ago, I filed a sexual assault investigation at work because something happened.
That companies are basically hiring people just to check off boxes of marginalized communities and say that they have a diverse staff. But that's not how DEI works. And I know because I worked in HR for close to 10 years where my sole responsibility was hiring people, and DEI was actually one of the metrics that I was measured on my performance on a year-to-year basis. And over the course of my career, I hired thousands of people, so that's where my knowledge comes from. So in my last video, I talked about how it's illegal to hire someone just because they have resumes. So after the 7th interview, I asked the HR representative, hey, are you just asking them what they're doing on Sundays for conversational purposes, or is there an actual motive behind it? And the HR representative responded to me by stating that they were asking candidates what they were doing on Sunday because they didn't want anyone who was religious. And when I asked them what their reasoning was, they stated that they didn't want anyone who was religious because then that meant that they had prior commitments and they wanted people who were going to be gung-ho for our company. And I had to tell this HR rep that they couldn't.
Why do people need to be made to feel special and different and blah blah blah? We're all different and we're all alike. Maybe that's why there's so many mental health issues, so many suicides, because nobody fits anywhere anymore. Sounds a lot like special ed to me.
The term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor.
More people can like you and respect you the way you are. Never pretend to be someone else. Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Vanessa, and in today's episode we're still looking for those who are finding out after voting red and they have now started to realize what they have been playing with. In this video, we are going to talk about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, where palm-colored people think that this initiative program came just to benefit some, not others. They just think that this program came to save only Black people, but it's not real. It's not true, because you will see palm-colored people, they are the ones who are in hiring committee, who are the ones who take the last decision in the program. And by the end, when I come back to add my comment, I'll tell you how it benefited marginalized and underrepresented communities, business and organizations, education institutions, broader society, the US economy, and also majority groups. So all the clips that we are going to see in this video, a shout out to the original creators of all the videos, and let's dive into the video. I'll be back with my commentary.
I just got a call from my work and they let me know that I was getting laid off today. And so I was laid off from work today. And it's a lot. There's the fires going on in LA. My birthday just happened a few days ago. I thought this was going to be my year. And I just got laid off. I've been at this company for over 6 years. And, I don't even know what to do. Obviously, I have to file for unemployment. I'm just in shock. But here's the biggest thing. A few months ago, I filed a sexual assault investigation at work because something happened. And around December, they finally finished the investigation. And they really didn't do anything. And, you know, a month later, here I am getting let go. And I just feel like this seems very fishy, and I don't know too much about the law. But if there's any, like, lawyers on here, and if somebody can help me, if I have a case here, let me know. But yeah, I don't know what to do.
It seems like everybody has an opinion when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, including me. Diversity, inclusion, and equity is important. It's important because it benefits everyone, not just some, as the media would like you to believe. Please understand that diversity, equity, and inclusion factors merit-based opportunities for folks. People are not getting placed in positions that they do not qualify for. Again, historically, there are inequities, and diversity, equity, and inclusion works to address those inequities and create equitable opportunities and access.
The fact that a lot of white women thought that DEI meant minority or black people, that it didn't include them, is the funniest thing to me. Because white women are DEI hires majority of the time. They benefit from DEI initiatives. So the fact that you would vote against your own interests and then get upset that this is happening to you is just like hilarious to me. What do you mean you didn't realize that you were the diversity hire? Like, you're a woman and you think that you have an equal playing field in this game as a white man? The fact that we have this program set in place stops companies from discriminating against you based off your gender. So I just don't understand why you would think that, oh my God, I'm in the same playing field as a white man, because you never will be. You actively voted against your rights to appease white men, and you're going to pay the consequences for that. DEI does not just mean black people. As a white woman, that also affects you. White women thought that DEI meant minority.
Everything she said is 100% yes, but I want to add on, why the f*** would it be okay, even if it didn't include them, you know? I guess I should say us, because, like, I'm also, like, a white woman, but like I didn't vote that way, so I don't want to be lumped in with that shit. But even if white women were not a part of DEI hires, what the kind of mental gymnastics and mental illness does it take to have to look at this and be like, yeah, no, we don't need that. No, everyone doesn't deserve to have a job. Everyone doesn't deserve equal opportunities. No, we should leave that to the men. Absolutely kills me, because I just like, I don't understand how abhorrent and disgusting do you have to be to just see people minding their own business, living their own lives, and be like, yeah, that group of people in particular, for nothing, for what? Like, what does that get you? And my absolute favorite part of all of this shit is the fact that they are the fucking punchline, but these bitches don't even get the joke. Like, the time of fuck around and find out is absolutely upon us, and it's just so unfortunate that everyone else has to find out with these absolute idiots.
These white women are complaining, and also the black women and their life. This program is not benefiting us only, it's also benefiting you. And they don't even understand how it can just benefit only black while they are the one who hires. You get? So this DEI program, which is just there to benefit everyone, just came to help and to balance the gender. You get? Because in these big companies you will find like 90% they are men. I mean, they hire men, and women are not getting jobs. And not only women, but also disabled people that we think they are not able to make it. That's why this program just came to make them included, to include those who were meant to be out. So let's continue watching, and I feel very sorry to those people who lost their job. I believe anytime they will get a new job, though it's not easy to get a job and get comfort and used to a new job, but we all get adapted whenever we get a new job. So I wish you the best. Let's continue watching.
Can somebody tell me why the left loves to dress shit up, pretend it doesn't stink, and then we figure out what it is, and so they change it up? Why? The rebrand of DEI is special emphasis programs. Sounds a lot like special ed to me. Why do people need to be made to feel special and different and blah blah blah? We're all different and we're all alike. Maybe that's why there's so many mental health issues, so many suicides, because nobody fits anywhere anymore. Well, I'm not this, so I can't be with these people, and I'm not that, and blah, blah, blah. Just either realize everybody's special or nobody is, and just be your damn self. And then who cares who likes you or not? But you know what? More people would probably like you and respect you that way. I cannot wait until this program is gone, and the fact that they're trying to keep it alive like this is disgusting, but very predictable. I am not surprised at all. Like I've been saying this whole entire time, it should be on merit and ability. Can you do the job? I don't care about anything else about you. Can you do the job? Period. End of story. The fact that we're discussing anything else in the professional field is ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Even in the personal field. Like, I don't have to have a certain amount of disabled friends or women friends. Like, who gives a shit? Seriously. It's really annoying. If you need companies to support, Target, Walmart, and McDonald's are all rolling back their DEI programs. Go support them. McDonald's, I love the fact that President Trump worked there for a day, but I just tend to not do fast food all the time. But go ahead. Go get some fries, go get a shake, go get a Big Mac, who cares? But we have to support the companies that are going against this, because we want excellence to come back in America. And that won't come back if people suck at their jobs. Now, like I also said, and I feel like I have to say this all the time as a disclaimer, there are people who are going to fit an identity politics, DEI background that are really good at their job. Great, hire them. But hire them because they're good at their job. Nothing else. Unless they're an actor or an actress, where they have to fill a role. And I feel like a broken record at this point, but I'm not going to shut up about it. I think these special programs are nothing more than participation trophies because somebody feels like somebody should feel bad about who they are, so they should get a bone thrown at them. No, make them feel good about their skill or their effort and their profession, and hire them or give them a raise or whatever, but it should not be on their gender or on their color or on anything of that sort. God, I can't wait till this bullshit goes away. Cannot wait.
The real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the Black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The number one recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. Number one recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. Number two are Asian Americans. Number three are Native Americans. Number four, individuals with disability. Number five, veterans. Okay? And number six, the LGBTQ plus community. And guess who comes last at receiving DEI benefits? Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans. Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see the primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most from DEI initiative programs.
Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025. I was just laid off. This is actually the first time I've ever been laid off, so I don't really know what to even do or how to process anything. I just dropped off my laptop. It sucks the most because I seriously was only at this company for 2 months. I literally got this job in October and loved every single second of it. Unfortunately, the company was acquired and a lot of us were let go. Nothing you can do about it, but it definitely sucks. I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know if I want to even keep working for a company or what. I got my real estate license back in early October. I'm like, maybe I should just pursue that. But I also really liked the idea of having like a stable income with a job. I'm also getting married this year and have lots of expenses. So yeah, I still know it's going to be a great year. Like, I'm truly trying to be positive. I know everything happens for a reason, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Getting rid of DEI initiatives from a corporate perspective is really not smart because DEI was actually created to protect companies. And I know a lot of people think that this is what DEI is, that companies are basically hiring people just to check off boxes of marginalized communities and say that they have a diverse staff. But that's not how DEI works. And I know because I worked in HR for close to 10 years where my sole responsibility was hiring people, and DEI was actually one of the metrics that I was measured on my performance on a year-to-year basis. And over the course of my career, I hired thousands of people, so that's where my knowledge comes from. So in my last video, I talked about how it's illegal to hire someone just because they belong to a marginalized community. So when you hire someone, you're only supposed to base it off of 2 things. The first being their qualifications, so their past job experiences or their schooling in relation to the job description. And 2 is supposed to be your assessment of that specific person and how successful you think that they're going to be in this position. Now, the second criteria includes things like, does the candidate have the right personality that's going to make them successful in the role? For instance, if you're trying to fill a sales position, ideally someone who's an extrovert is going to be more successful in that role than someone who's an introvert. And it also includes other criteria that are relevant to the job. Like, for instance, with that sales position example, if you're trying to fill a position that's going to be working in a territory that has a lot of Spanish-speaking businesses, then you might be helpful to have someone who speaks Spanish because they're going to be able to communicate with the customer base a lot easier. But it also includes things like the culture fit and how they're going to fit into the culture of the company and how they're going to gel with the rest of the team. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a gray area where a lot of potential discrimination can take place. And when a company commits to DEI, they're essentially just committing to the fact that during that second criteria part of assessing candidates, that they're not going to be discriminatory. Let me give you some real life examples of how DEI works. For instance, I sat in on this panel interview where it was me, another HR representative, like the actual representative that you go to when you have problems at work, and the hiring manager, so the person that the person will actually be reporting into when they get hired. And after interviewing a bunch of candidates, I started to notice that the HR representative was asking every single candidate what they did on Sundays, and then I noticed that they were writing down notes on their resumes. So after like the 7th interview, I asked the HR representative, hey, are you just asking them what they're doing on Sundays for conversational purposes, or is there an actual motive behind it? And the HR representative responded to me by stating that they were asking candidates what they were doing on Sunday because they didn't want anyone who was religious. And when I asked them what their reasoning was, they stated that they didn't want anyone who was religious because then that meant that they had prior commitments and they wanted people who were going to be gung-ho for our company. And I had to tell this HR rep that they couldn't do that because one, not only was it discriminatory and they were opening up the company to discrimination lawsuits, not to mention I told them that their whole psychological assessment for which they were not qualified for could be wrong in the first place, because having someone who's very religious could be a sign that they are good at and have a pattern of behavior of committing to something and showing up for it regularly. And if one of the candidates found out that we were asking candidates that question as a qualifier, we would have opened up the company to so many class action lawsuits. And part of the reason why DEI was one of my metrics for my performance every year was because I had to educate myself every year on the changing laws of discrimination and diversity so that I could protect the company from making sure that we weren't practicing discriminatory hiring practices and open ourselves up for lawsuits. And I've had to have similar conversations with hiring managers and other people within the organization about veterans, women, and many other groups. Yes, DEI occurs outside of hiring as well. For instance, DEI initiatives is the reason why women got breastfeeding rooms inside of the offices and everyone got phone rooms so that people felt comfortable knowing that they can take personal time and personal calls at work without fearing retaliation. But from a hiring perspective, DEI is put into place to help protect companies from discrimination lawsuits.
Alright, I think you have seen how DEI works and how discriminatory have been there while hiring people. I mean, focusing on their religious and wherever. So as I promised, I'm going to tell you the examples of how DEI had an impact on specific groups in the United States. The first one is marginalized and underrepresented communities. Here we're going to see how racial and ethnic minorities, companies like Google and PepsiCo have implemented mentorship programs for Black and Latino employees, leading to increased career advancement and leadership representation. How women initiatives such as parental leave policies and female-focused leadership development programs like those at IBM have helped reduce the gender gap in male-dominated industries like tech and finance. LGBTQ+ community organizations like Salesforce and Microsoft has championed LGBTQ+ employee resource groups and inclusive health benefits, creating safe and accepting work environments. People with disabilities. Companies such as Microsoft and Walgreens actively hire individuals with disabilities and provide the necessary accommodations, fostering more inclusive workforce. About business and organizations, diverse workforces foster creativity, innovation, and improved decision making. Companies with strong DEI initiatives often experience a higher employee engagement and retention. These are the examples of all the parties that work with DEI programs. So educational institutions, schools and universities benefit from diverse students, populations, and inclusive environments which enrich educational experience and cross-cultural understanding. The fourth is broader society. DEI initiatives contribute to social harmony, reducing discrimination, and fostering a sense of belonging for all individuals. Communities thrive when diverse perspectives and social equity is prioritized. The US economy, a more inclusive workforce, leads to broader talent pools and economic growth, enhancing global competitiveness. About major groups, majority groups also benefit from exposure to diverse perspectives, which can increase cultural competence, empathy, and adaptability in a multicultural world. So that's what I have gathered for you to understand how DEI initiative programs came to benefit everyone, not black, not palm colored. So thank you so much for watching till the end. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I really appreciate your love and your support to this channel. Thank you always for being with me. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe, leave a like to the video, and share it with your friends. See you in the next episode.